All right, so welcome to a new special series from the Nerd Holes. We're going to be rewatching and covering Jurassic Park, up leading to Jurassic Park Dominion, which comes out June.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so tonight we're going to start with the classic Jurassic Park 1993, Steven Spielberg's adaptation from Michael Crichton's book that was
Yeah.
released in 1990.
Oh wow, that close together. I didn't
Yep.
realize that.
So one of my first points here is that Spielberg and Crichton were working on the screenplay together for
Yeah.
the ER show. It became the ER show, and Spielberg
Gotcha.
was like, "Hey, what's your new book about?" And so Michael Crichton kind of told him basically like what it is, dinosaur DNA, cloning,
Wow.
and Spielberg made sure that Universal bought the rights to it like then. So before the book even came out, Spielberg and Universal already had the rights for the movie.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, because I saw in the end credits that he was there. It's like it's him and some other person
Hmm.
is a screenplay writer.
Yeah, Michael
Michael
Crichton was
Crichton.
specifically screenplay guy. Yeah. He would do like,
Interesting.
yeah. Which is interesting because if we get to it later, I have a lot of differences between the book and the movie. And it's just funny to see like some of these are like drastically different.
Oh, okay.
So with Michael Crichton being there, I wonder if it was just like in the how like comic books and books it reads better,
Yeah.
but for like movies and stuff, it plays out better.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that kind of had something to do with it, actors and characters and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because
I think he had
sometimes it's just
a velociraptor behind it.
the Dilophosaurus.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. I was thinking it might have been even like a creative difference.
Mm-hmm.
Like Spielberg, it could be the two things is either like Spielberg saw it had like he imagined it going this way, or
Mm-hmm.
um, it's like the thing they do sometimes, which is like they don't want you to know what's going to happen. So like if you were a book reader, they don't want you to know that like so and so. Oh well, here this encounter is so and so dies here, but then
Mm-hmm.
it's like in the movie they don't. So could have
Yeah.
been something like that.
Yeah. Maybe they were just, because they're buddies and they just were kind of like out of respect for the book and the
Yeah.
movie, they just changed directions a little bit, just to make it not scene for scene,
Yeah. Right. Right.
you know. So yeah, so that's a little bit of history to begin with. But
Cool.
so how do you feel rewatching this in 2022?
Yeah. Honestly, I kind of miss the old style, this way that Steven Spielberg films, because as he went on, he kind of just filmed differently, and he kind of picked more. I don't know. He picked kind of different style movies than these, because like I think the latest thing he put out was like West Side Story, which is like
Oh
it's
yeah.
fine, but it's not like his normal adventure, really interesting,
Hmm.
like driven narrative.
Yeah.
But so that was really fascinating. I really enjoyed that was the thing I kept thinking about was how masterful he specifically is in making the characters say or do things and it in
Hmm.
a line of dialogue or in like a simple action, it explains that character
Yeah.
in a nutshell. Like you're gonna like when something later in the movie happens, you understand their motive essentially or their thing.
Yeah.
But CGI wise, honestly, I think the only thing it took I noticed it being kind of bad was when they first see the Bronchiosaurus, like the big first dinosaur reveal. Well, minus the raptor thing in the beginning, but
Hmm.
um there's a couple shots of the leg and the tail that they just don't have like the depth part. They don't have like
Yeah.
the shading of it 100%. And I think there was something towards the end. I think maybe it was the raptors in the kitchen. But honestly, other than that, it looked as like it had just come out, I don't know, last summer type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I know. honestly, it's a lot of money, the animatronics and even
Yeah.
the scale stuff. It's a lot of money, but I think it's seamlessly put together those three things so well
Oh yeah.
that that's one of the reasons why it still holds up. Like
Oh
today,
man, it
like
really
watching.
does. And that's the thing. I don't know. Oh, I don't know if how. Oh, thank you. I don't know if the second movie or the third movie have the same feel to them. Because normally when I watch them, I like them and they're good movies.
Mhm.
But I don't know. Watching it, Jurassic Park #1 is just it's very self-contained. There doesn't need to be a sequel.
Exactly.
Just watch it and enjoy it. Like you don't need to know anything prior to it, and you don't need to watch. Like there doesn't need to be another movie.
Yeah,
It's really good. It's a good like adventure, character development, horror movie. It's got a lot of stuff
it
in it.
does. Yeah, it
It
does.
really, I don't know. It just sends it out of the park for me.
Yeah.
I've always liked the movie, but I don't know. When I rewatched it, I was like, man, this is a really good movie.
Honestly, for me, I think it's probably one of my favorite Spielberg
Yeah,
movies.
yeah,
He's got some great ones, but it's just kind of
yeah,
everything came together in this movie to make it still great today.
yeah. You're right. Yeah, I probably would say the Indianas are probably mine, and then
Yeah,
probably Jurassic Park.
I love the first Indiana Jones.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, no, that's true. The thing that I was thinking of that's really funny is that you have the character of Malcolm, and his whole thing is like chaos theory.
yeah.
Uh, and the funny thing about that is, so Spielberg directing this movie, he wanted like 100% animatronics. He wanted all animatronic dinosaurs, but
Yeah,
A, it was too expensive, and B,
right.
they kind of malfunctioned. So it's funny that like anything that could go wrong went wrong.
Hmm,
But he even had that luck with like Jaws, the animatronic
that's
Bruce.
true.
That thing was notorious for like. It's amazing that movie even got made. You know
Yeah,
how
that's
bad
true.
the animatronic stuff was, and then not learning his lesson from that, he had the guys um, build like that full size T Rex for that like car scene, and
Okay,
they made everything like to scale by weight to hold up to just be specifically um, controlled enough for the weight that it had on the body. And then
okay.
Spielberg was like, let's add rain to that scene. It would be much scarier if we added rain. It
Yeah,
was raining on the animatronic, and that silicone's like casing that's around
yeah.
like the skeleton just soaks in water like a sponge. And it added all this weight to the T-Rex. And it would like try to find some footage, but it would like jitter. It would like jitter and shake, and it was unpredictable. So like that scene where the kids are screaming, it's like they really don't know what that thing is gonna do because it would like lurch forward at points and be like crazy. They would say that even like they would all go to lunch and they'd be eating lunch and the thing would just go and it would like move on its own because it was so like messed up from
Uh,
the food and stuff. They were
yeah,
like terrified of it.
I saw when I think Jeff Goldblum was being interviewed for either the new Independence Day or or the Thor Ragnarok movie, and
Yeah,
somebody brought it up, and he was like, "Oh yeah, they weren't. That's not like a weird like internet story." He's like, "No, they totally told us to stay away from that thing," and like
yeah, don't go
it's
near
yeah,
it. Yeah, that's crazy. That's super cool though.
yeah,
That scene alone, I mean, that scene makes the movie, right? The
it
whole
really does. Honestly, like now looking at it, because being like a kid or watching it earlier, it was always like the whatever I just said, Brontosaurus, whatever the huge
Bronchius. So yeah,
Bronchiosaurus. So like that scene, and then like the gate, I always remember like that was kind of like the cool scene,
yeah,
and Ian Malcolm makes the King Kong joke and all
yeah.
this stuff,
Where
and
they
I'm
got
like, yeah, but that T Rex scene, Oh man, I don't know. It's so iconic, and like
Yeah.
it's what I honestly think that scene, and probably the whole end sequence with the raptors and them and running out of the visitor center. I think that alone, everybody was like, "Yep," and that's what allowed them to make an additional five, now six movies. Well, what is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
five, an additional
Yeah.
five.
Yeah. No, that, yeah. So that T-Rex in the beginning, and then like
Oh
if you try to picture in your mind like Jurassic Park, you think of the T-Rex coming out,
yeah, right.
you think of like the kitchen
Yeah, the kitchen sequence.
all the way to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So the movie was originally going to end with um, Grant and the kids um, like smashing the T-Rex skull onto the raptors, like from where they
Oh,
suspended, and then running out of the building.
okay.
But after Spielberg saw the T-Rex in the rain in the car scene, he knew that like that was like the focal point of the movie. So then he wanted T-Rex to show back up in the end to like
Gotcha.
seal the ending.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, because it, so that's the thing. I understand. Like he probably filmed it out of sequence, but you think
Mhm.
about it, it's like he mentions the T-Rex, right? Doesn't he say? I think he says in the open when they're looking at all the other dinosaurs, he says we have a T-Rex.
Mhm.
And then they go and look at it, and the goat doesn't get eaten. It's like a very like it's building up to the T-Rex
Yeah.
happening. Yeah,
It's specifically building up to when the power's out.
true.
Because
Yeah,
even
true.
in the very beginning of the tour, they see the Bronchiosaurus before they even go in the park. And when they get to the tour, it's like, oh, here's the Dilophosaurus. No,
Yeah.
no Dilophosaurus. And that's different in the book. They see the Dilophosaurus on the tour, like in the book.
Oh,
But in the movie, it's all about building up to the T-Rex. So no Dilophosaurus, whatever they go around. The power of the storm's coming in.
yeah.
They find the Triceratops, right? The sick Triceratops. In the book, that's a Stegosaurus. So
No.
whatever.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't do the same thing. It doesn't really matter, but it's just different. Um, and then like the cast splits up. Even in the book, it's like different characters that leave and stay with
Oh,
the dinosaur and go back to the thing. But Malcolm uh, and Grant and the kids are in the car with the T-Rex scene.
that's interesting. That's still held over. That's interesting.
Mhm. But Malcolm is actually he kind of takes the place of the lawyer. In the book, the lawyer is like he's like a hero. He's like a bad A. He goes back to
Wow.
save the kids. He's trying to like find everybody. He's trying to help everybody.
Gotcha.
Malcolm is the one that like sees the T-Rex come out and he abandons everybody, runs away, and gets like he actually gets like bit, and that's how he gets his leg hurt in the book. And
Gotcha.
they even set the end of the book up like he dies from like the leg wound.
Oh,
Yeah, like he's just like, yeah, he's dead. And I guess when he wrote the second book, Lost World, it I started reading, I haven't finished reading it, but it literally opens up and it's like it's Malcolm and he's giving like a lecture, like a college lecture. And the student was like, yeah, what was it like? He's like, yeah, I barely made it out of there. And it's like he's alive.
oh,
The first book legitimately it's like, yeah, he's dead. He died. And one of the other major differences is like Hammond.
okay.
He's just a jerk. He's like a corrupt, like he loves the park. He loves the idea of the park. He loves the money. He doesn't even care about his grandkids the whole time.
Oh,
He even ends up like blaming them for like the misfortune of the park. Like they ruin stuff. It's their fault that the park is like bad.
wow.
And he like everyone is dying and getting eaten around him. And he's like leaving, like walks away and he's gonna leave the island and he's like, I'm gonna start over from the beginning. I'm gonna create it all again. I'm gonna do it all again. And he ends up like tumbling down a ravine and getting eaten by compies. So he's a completely different character in the book. He's
Wow,
a
wow.
jerk. It's
Huh.
interesting.
I mean, some of that kind of comes through.
Mhm.
some of it does.
He's more in love with like the magic behind it
Yeah.
in the movie. He's more in love with the idea of like thrilling kids and adults and the wonder of it. He never, what's the line, right? You never stopped to, you were depending so much on wondering if you could do it that you never stopped to ask yourself if you should do it.
Should do it. Yeah. Yeah.
But
And
in the book, it was just
that's what I was.
greed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what I was thinking was. That's how all those how he sets up all the characters, because like how Alan interacts at the dig site with the
Mhm.
kid,
Yeah.
you already know like he's
Yeah.
really versed in dinosaur stuff,
Mhm.
but he doesn't like kids. Like that sets it up real easily. And like Hammond coming in the helicopter, it shows him that he doesn't actually, like you said, he enjoys the thought of what
Yeah.
bringing dinosaurs to life is, rather than the actual respect for what is going on. He's not, he's like in the middle ground. He doesn't hate what it is, and he doesn't love, it's like he doesn't respect it. So it's interesting. It's like, and that in the helicopter ride to the island, a lot of the interactions on the helicopter kind of like lend to
Yeah.
who they are. Like his quick thinking, right? He can't get the seatbelts on. Alan can't get the seatbelt.
Oh yeah,
It
right.
shows he quick thinks and just ties it together, and he's like, he improvised. So as a viewer, that this
Mhm.
guy thinks on his toes. Like this guy,
Yeah.
he thinks outside the box, essentially. It's
was
just
Yeah, and Grant was like that in the book too. He was a survivalist. He was a
cool.
really good survivalist. The only difference is he loves kids in the books. Like, that's like his main thing is he like loves kids, and he wants to protect those kids at all costs.
Mm, yeah,
Um,
that's funny actually.
there's a part in the book that would have been awesome in the movie too if they could have fit it in. Is Grant and the kids while trying to get back to the Welcome Center.
Okay.
There's like a rafting scene where they're rafting down like Whitewater Rapids to get back, and they're
Wow.
being like
Okay.
pursued by the T-Rex on land, and they're trying to like avoid him in the water, and it's like a big chase scene, and then they stumble into a paddock, like a big cage. It's basically the scene from Jurassic Park 3 with all the or the bird.
Oh, pterodactyls.
That happens in the book. They escape the T-Rex, and then they're walking, and it's the whole scene on the bridge with the birds coming in.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
But yeah, and then so the difference between the two kids is that Tim is old in the book. Tim is
Okay.
like older. He's really smart and he's good with computers. And Lex is like really, really young, and
They reversed it. I
she's like,
see.
and she whines and cries the whole time. She's like awful.
So she's Dakota Fanning in War of the Worlds.
Worse.
Worse.
Yeah, imagine that. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's interesting though. I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder why.
And Doctor Wu is like a throwaway character in the book. He dies in the end. He gets eaten by a raptor. He's not like the big scientist guy. It's just funny because in the movies, right, he's like the main like scientist behind.
Oh yeah.
All of it.
Is Nedry like the same or not really?
He's the same. Samuel Jackson character is the same, dies the same way. Him and Nedry are exactly the same. The only difference is Nedry gets eaten outside of the car.
Oh.
But the same exact thing. He's trying to power, stealing the DNA, all the same. And then the other like huge difference is Isla Nublar, right, at the end.
Yeah.
Costa Rican like special forces or like their Marines come in and they bomb the island.
Oh,
Then everybody who survives on the boat after, they're all detained, like they're in prison because like war crimes.
huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the book starts, so
Huh.
the scene from Jurassic Park 2, the kid, the British people that are on vacation in Costa Rica, and the little girl
Yes. Okay.
all the
Yes.
poppies. That's how the book starts. The book
Oh.
starts with that scene, and what it's doing is it's showing you how the park is not secure. Dinosaurs are already getting off of the park, and they're losing numbers, even though they don't think they're losing numbers because the numbers are the same. But what's already happening is they're breeding and escaping the island, and they're going all over the place.
So they're still. I get it. So it's a dual thing where they're showing
Mhm.
they can't contain them, but
Yes.
also they're breeding. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's
Yep.
really
And
interesting.
then the Muldoon scene in the beginning of the movie with the raptor that
Yeah.
happens in the book. It's not the same perspective. It's a helicopter lands in Costa Rica hospital, and a med student is trying to like save this guy's life. The guy that
I
was
see.
attacked by the raptor,
Yeah.
and it's a big hush hush. They're trying to cover it up. It was a worker accident. He's got he's like slashed, three claws slashed across his. He's got
Yeah.
saliva all over him. No, it was a workplace accident. So
Yeah.
so again, it's showing you how the park is not safe. It's not safe. It's not secure.
Interesting.
So Hammond still has to go and find benefactors to come and inspect the park to pass it on to the investors. Right? It's the same story.
Yeah. That was the one thing I had forgotten about.
Yeah.
Was I remember the raptor attack scene. I remember that happening. Yeah. Dude, but the thing that was surprising because I totally like just I don't know, just didn't remember it was the whole reason for the lawyer being there was because of that employee dying. And
Right.
now the family was suing them, so he was trying to basically
Yeah.
keep all of the people supporting the park like on board with it. Like it was a
Yeah.
fluke thing, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. No, it's a great story. And the thing that I think about is like the science, like Michael Crichton's like science that he wrote back then. It's totally like it made sense back then. And
Yeah.
now it's like almost pretty much possible,
Right.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Just the whole like mosquito
Oh yeah.
and resin. It's like, wow, how did he come up with that? He just like thought
I
of that.
know.
It's insane.
The thing that made me laugh though was so like scientists can get, look at um so I don't think they've gotten any DNA from stuff, right? I think they've only just gotten bones. I
Pretty
think
much.
they've Yeah. So the funny thing is like there's that scene. And it's great. It's a great scene. I don't have a problem with it, but it made me laugh that Alan goes up and he's talking about what the raptor would do to the kid and split
Oh
his
yeah.
gut open, all this stuff. And I was just like,
I have no idea.
it's a it's a perfect yeah, exactly. It's a perfect scene, but in reality, like, paleontologists like they don't know what these animals would do. Like
They
it's
don't even
all
know.
it's all guesses.
They don't even know what they look like.
Right, right. And I know and who knows what it's gonna be, but I know in the new trailer they show a dinosaur that has more like feathers to
Feathers.
it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, who knows? I
Yeah.
mean, it's a thing that probably will never really be
It,
discovered, but
it's funny
the
because that's what Crichton was kind of pushing in the book was like dinosaurs are more bird than anything,
bird, yeah.
and even because of like the manipulation of the genes, like even in the book they're already like mutating, so they're breeding, they're
Yeah.
mutating their color, they can blend in with like their environment, and it's like all the stuff you're seeing now in the new Jurassic Park movies when
Yeah.
they're manipulating the genes.
Yeah, honestly, it actually plays well because anytime you're like, well, that doesn't really make sense. You're like, well, it's it's a spliced genome with a frog, and it's just like,
Yeah.
who knows
Yeah.
what that would do to an
Right.
animal? It's actually kind of cool.
And it's funny because now even like when you look at scientists today and they're saying that like they're more bird, more feathery, and people are like, well, I guess Jurassic Park's not accurate. It's like, no, they used frog DNA. They
Right,
used frog
exactly,
DNA to fill in
exactly.
the gaps. So
Yeah,
they're not, full-blooded dinosaurs,
no,
you know?
yeah, yeah, not 100%. Yeah, not 100%.
Yeah. But even in the beginning, Grant saying he gives that example of the Velociraptor, where
Yeah,
he even says like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna try to stand still because you think it's a T-Rex and you can't. Its vision's based on movement." Like, how do you
right,
do that? You don't know that. In
right,
the book,
right.
Ian Grant figures that out by being on the island. Like
Yeah,
he like
that's see, that's the thing. I think the movie could have done better was instead of having the paleontologist or the I forget what he's just a doctor. Malcolm is just like he's a
he's
chaos
he's a
theory.
chaos theorist. Yeah,
Yeah. So what would he be considered? Like just like a professor or something?
yeah, he's like a professor. I think he's a doctor technically.
Okay. But
Doctorate. Yeah,
I think that would have lended a lot better that these guys look at it and use their skills, their knowledge, and say, oh, rather than just go into this like, well, dinosaurs did this and dinosaurs did that. Like let's like you're saying in the book, like let's show them figuring it out.
and I think in the book it was all of the dinosaurs were vision based. So he kind of
Oh,
was
really?
figuring out
All of
that
them?
like if you just
That's
stand
cool.
still, that they can't see you. Yeah, I think it was all of
Interesting.
them. Yeah,
Interesting. Does he
because
use do they use frog DNA in the book too?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so. That I don't remember 100%. The book is really heavy on the science of,
I can imagine
and
most
it's like
science books are. Yeah, yeah, right, right.
kind of gloss over a lot of it.
No,
You
I
keep it
know.
basic, but there is a lot. There's a lot of science in the book.
The same stuff happens on Star Trek. These people spend so much time perfecting all these words, and they're right. They say stuff and it makes perfect sense, but it's like
Yeah.
I don't. I just take it for granted. Like, oh, perfect.
Yeah, I know. So the other thing too is they filmed in Hawaii. Um,
Oh, okay.
they got
Oh,
a lot
okay.
of filming
Cool.
in Hawaii, like the Raptor paddock. The
Okay.
back one there is all Hawaii. Like they built that like paddock
Wow.
like, road area. But then at the nighttime scene, that was all filmed back at the lot in California. So I kind of blended both, really well. Um, but
Man, wow. Yeah.
while they were filming down there was like a real like hurricane that came through and just like devastated the island. So that scene there where the storm is coming and they show
Yeah.
out the ocean and they're showing the waves like crazy on the rocks. That's like
Yeah.
real footage of like what was happening while they were there filming.
Wow. So somebody was just like, great, just film this.
It was really bad. It was really bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Um,
What are the chances, right? You're filming, your story revolves around a hurricane, and
yeah,
then now
right.
you're filming hurricane.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. The other little thing that I think was really funny was that uh, what's his name there? So ILM, right? They did the CGI stuff.
okay.
Um, and one of the other guys there, Phil Tippett, who was doing like the stop motion, he was hired
Oh,
to do
okay.
like stop motion animation until ILM figured out the CGI to make it look really good. He had been doing stop motion for like tons of stuff.
Sure.
And yeah, so he was doing like the raptor thing in the kitchen. He did that all like
Okay.
model. And it looked too choppy, for Spielberg.
I see.
But so when ILM showed off the CGI, Phil Tippett, the model guy, he looked at Steven Spielberg and he said, I think I'm extinct. Well, so Spielberg used as that line for Malcolm, right, when they're walking up the stairs, and Grant's like, "Wow, I think I'm out of a job," and Malcolm goes, "No, you mean extinct?" That's
That's pretty good, actually.
pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. There's a whole thing about the like behind the scenes
Hmm.
ILMs, like the main guy that kind of came up with it. And it was kind of like sneakily done off hours just to prove that he could do it. And he kind of like put it on a screen on a monitor over here, while they were showing off other stuff over here.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
we're like, what's that? He's like, oh, that's just a pet project. And it was so good. It was so good that Spielberg was like, I want that. Figure that out. I want that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like that whole T-Rex chase scene,
Okay.
like that's all CGI.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, there's animatronic part where anytime like the head is like pushing against the car or really close to the car, obviously that's all.
Right. Right.
The whole chase thing, it looks so good.
Oh man. Yeah. It does. Yeah.
It's a mixture of that being at night and the rain, like diluting the colors and kind of blending the environment all in together. It kind of
Yeah.
really sells it.
Absolutely. No, it really does. Yeah. When his like head and body burst out of like the tree branches,
Yeah.
it's initially like really, it's just immediately terrifying. It's like, oh nope.
So there's a
And
couple. No, go ahead.
I was just say in that scene, the thing I like a lot about it is so they've seen the dinosaurs in the beginning, like everybody see, yeah, everybody see, come, let's
Come
go.
on, come on, come on.
Is so in the beginning, right? All of the except for the children, the three main like scientists essentially
Mhm.
see the dinosaurs, right? And they go, and like you said, they don't see anything, they don't see anything, and then the Triceratops is sick, and what's her name? Ellie? What's her name?
Oh, yeah.
Sadler is her last name, right?
Yes.
She
Uh,
goes with the other like essentially like the vet essentially,
yeah.
and they go and then they go back and then she's at the compound, and then all the power goes off and right she's not seeing anything, right?
Mhm.
Nothing scary has really, I mean, power outage, but nothing really frightening has happened to her. And
Mhm.
then when her and Muldoon go and they're looking for him, and I love the scene where it's like if you watch it through her perspective, she's trying to put it all together, and the Muldoon guy is already like way ahead of her. He understands what's going on and that
Just
they can't
because
stick around.
they haven't experienced anything like you're saying, and then they walk out to go to the power station.
Right.
What's his name should have been back. Uh, Ray, right? Ray. Maybe it was
Well,
Ray.
that's later.
Oh,
I'm talking about when they pull up in the Jeep and they're at the site of the
oh, right.
T-Rex.
Yeah, that
Like,
happens first. Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, and
They're yelling.
they
I see the
right,
other
exactly.
car. It's down there, and they're like, no, be quiet, be quiet.
Yeah, and then they see the lawyer, and then they see Ian and all that stuff. And the
Mhm.
thing that she sells so good in the movie, because like you said, the thing is, she's not in that scene. She's not in the rain scene. There, whatever her name is, Laura Dern, is not in that scene. So she has to act to a fake T Rex
Mhm.
attacking the Jeep. And she sells that thing so well. I mean, she like loses her mind when the thing starts coming and she's
Oh,
like screaming in the Jeep and stuff like that.
when
I just
Ian's
liked it
like
because,
going back and he's on the clutch.
yeah, all of that. It's so well acted because, Muldoon is just, he's on survival. He's just trying to deal with it, right? He's being very precise. He's like, get off the clutch. He's just driving. He's focused. But the other two are losing their mind. But Ian is losing his mind less because he's already seen the T Rex. So it's like
Yeah,
it's just a really cool sequence of events that little sequence
yeah,
plays out. I really like it.
yeah. No, I do like that a lot.
But yeah, then they go to your thing. Then she goes with Muldoon to check out Samuel
Yeah,
L. Jackson's character.
and you
Yeah,
see the raptor paddock is broken out,
yeah.
and it's just bad news, right off the bat.
The only thing that didn't
'Cause-
make sense that she did in that movie, and I didn't get it, was she comes over like that tiny. I don't want to say a hill. She comes over a crest, and she sees Alan, She's like,
Oh yeah.
run. And then she just kind of hobbles over to him and hugs him. And I was like, why don't
Yeah.
you repeat yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't really get that. Because like
Yeah.
she doesn't even know that the Raptors are in the welcome center where
Oh,
he,
right. Yeah.
as far as she knows, they're back in the woods.
And they don't, because remember, he goes in and then the kids come out and they say, they're in the kitchen, and then he goes
Yeah.
and gets the shotgun. So it's like, it's a weird thing that she
Well,
does in the movie.
there's a whole thing of like her going back to the welcome center that you don't even see technically
Yeah, true.
because Muldoon dies, but she technically still has to go through that same area.
Yeah.
So maybe she knows they're behind her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Muldoon, he doesn't die in the book.
No, okay.
Yeah, he's an awesome character in the book. He's fighting T-Rexes with like rocket launchers and
Oh, gee.
it's crazy. They have to like go out and tag, like put them down, not like killing, but like tranquilize
Oh, sure. Yeah.
T-Rex to try to get DNA, try to get like blood sample. There's this whole thing. I think the lawyer goes with him. I think the lawyer and Muldoon go together and they're out like tagging T-Rexes and stuff. It's crazy. But yeah, but just that scene right where Muldoon like he knows about the Raptors. And she's like, I can make it if I run. He's like, no, I can't. No, you can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, even when I was a little kid, like that scene stands out to me where she's, she gets the power back on and she backs up against that wall. Like that, the arm comes down, and she's like, oh, and it's just his arm. It's
Yeah.
like the only blood in the whole movie, I think.
Yeah, really, pretty
Bloody
much.
stump. Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that even as a kid and even like now, that's like kind of like I don't know, that's kind of weird. Is the T-Rex scene, right, where the T-Rex is getting out with the pen.
Okay.
He he gets the goat, right? So the thing is where's the goat? And then
Oh.
the leg drops on the hood of the car.
Oh, right.
And then you see his like arm like touching the wire.
Oh, yeah.
There's no power. And then you see him like rising above the trees. And it's like, how do those all fit together? Like he's eating the goat. So he rises above and he like swallows the goat. So it's like,
Right.
how did his leg fly off and go like the 20 feet over the thing onto the hood of the car?
Right. And
And then
miss the fence and everything.
He's got these tiny little stump arms. What was he like laying down and he like touched it? Because they show it like it's up high. He like
Yeah.
touches it. And then he's like 20 feet away from the fence when he like his head comes up, Just
Yeah,
like,
true.
it's weird. It sells the scene because you understand what's happening, but
Well,
think
sure.
about
Yeah.
it, you're like, it's kind of weird.
But this is probably a great segue for you to,
Oh,
if you have pictures of it or you
yeah,
can explain it, like how the T-Rex paddock is, because like you're saying, he's like here, and then the thing gets pushed off and it goes over this like
yeah. Because
ravine.
even that scene where the goat's like on that platform, and then like the car like 20 feet over goes off the cliff into the tree.
Right.
I guess for the things that I've seen, the drawings and stuff that I've seen, I'll try to find one, but it's the T-Rex enclosure is a ravine. It's all down that level where the car goes to the ground. It's all down that level, but there's where the goat is specifically right by the road. So like the cars can see the goat. So that's
Right.
like a little like it slopes up to that platform. It's like a little ravine that goes up. So the T-Rex can like walk up the platform to eat the goat and then walk back down into his enclosure. So it's like little ramp, to the,
Yeah. It's
and
interesting.
then everything else is just a drop off. It's just a concrete wall, that was poured. And then it's a stupid design anyway, as far as like a park. Yeah, anyway,
Yeah, sure.
because it's a giant T-Rex, so you would want it not to be. You at no time would you ever want it able to be at ground level with the little tiny lip, the
Right.
concrete lip. Because like for a human, that lip is like 6 foot, 7 foot. But for a
Right.
T-Rex, it's like 2 inches, you know? Even when
Right.
he walks out and he puts his foot on the thing, it's like, why would you ever want him to be
Yeah.
up that high? Even though that fence is what, 10,000 volts or whatever.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's when the fence first starts up, it must have like 120 volts before it gets to the full 100. Because Timmy would have been cooked, I think. When he
Wow.
gets,
Yeah.
he's like,
That's the thing too. Like he's got it like this, and I don't really know exactly how like electrical stuff would happen, but I'm pretty sure he would complete the arc and he would just stay up there and fry. I don't think he'd get
I
blasted off
don't.
of it.
I think your muscles would clamp.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
the same thing. I don't understand. I mean, I get that he does it because he's gonna scare the kids, but even if he's wrong, it's dumb that Alan grabs it like this too.
Well,
Like they should
no.
have just grabbed it with one arm.
What's really dumb is to before he even grabs it to test to see if it has power, he throws a stick at it, which wood does not conduct electricity at all.
True,
So it
true.
wouldn't even complete the arc anyway.
Yeah.
Throws it at it and it perfectly touches both. And he's like, oh, I guess it's off. Like, it's a piece of wood, Alan. It's not going to complete the arc. But the other thing is, they were in the T-Rex enclosure. So how did they get into the Gallimimus enclosure? To the point where they needed to climb out. Because the fence that they climb out is the T-Rex fence. Because it's super tall. But they go into the Gallimimus enclosure, remember? Because
But they also encounter the other Brachiosaurus, remember in the tree?
Oh yeah.
So they must cross like paddocks. So that tall thing must just be for other dinosaurs. They must be crossing other enclosures. I mean, that's the only way it would make sense. Otherwise, it's like the T-Rex would just be eating all these dinosaurs.
Well, and the eggs that they find are the raptor eggs.
Right.
So it's almost like everything after the power got out, everything just combined into one area.
Probably.
All kind of flocked. What is it? Is it 3? Yeah. Might even be in 2 and 3, where they're talking about like the big carnivores and stuff. They stay in the center of the island.
Oh yes.
That's their hunting ground is in the center. And all the herbivores stay closer to the ocean.
Right.
So the further inland you go, the more dangerous it is. So maybe they all just kind of naturally flock that way. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But yeah, what else? The other iconic thing is anytime you're eating Jello, right? You shake the spoon. You know? I love that whole kitchen scene.
It's really good.
It's super scary, you know.
Yeah.
Even
her
like,
them seeing the reflection, right? Yeah.
Even like after that scene when they go back down in the computer lab, and Alan's like, "There's no lock. There's no lock on the door." He turns back up, and it's like in the window already looking at him.
He's like, there it is. Yeah. Then her and him and Ellie are pushing up against the door, and they're trying to get the shotgun, and the kids. This is a Linux system. I know this. It's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Is Lex is I can't remember her character's name, but she's the little girl from Tremors on the pogo stick.
That's right.
But 3 years earlier. So Tremors came out 3 years, and then now she's in this. So it's really funny that she's in 2 monster movies within a couple of years of each other. One was a massive success, and the other one was not really well liked.
The other one was like a lot of the people that were in it were like, I wish I never did that movie.
Right.
So the other funny thing that I want to tell you is to go along with our like Harrison Ford. Like, I hate everything. I'm Harrison Ford. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford was offered the role.
For
Grant's character, and he turned it down. And after he watched the movie, you know what he said? He said, "Well, I made the right choice."
Yeah. I have to say though,
he would have
Sam Neill, I think, is better in the role than Harrison Ford. I like Harrison Ford a lot, but I think it would have had to have been a different movie. You couldn't have made Harrison Ford so clumsy, I guess. Like so not clumsy, but you know what I mean? Like he has
I
a certain way about
I
what he
believe
has.
I believe Sam Neill is a paleontologist.
Correct.
Put it that
Correct.
way. Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
So in the book, Grant and Ellie, they're not like romantic towards each other at all. Ellie is like a college student
Oh,
that
okay.
works on the dig site with him. No
Yeah,
matter
I'm interested to see what they do because I kind of forgot that they were like whatever boyfriend girlfriend or whatever they were in the movie.
yeah.
They're not husband and wife, but I know they're
No,
like
they like each other, and then it even shows like towards in 3 that she's like married or whatever, and now in the new one, like she doesn't have that last name, so who knows what to do. I almost wonder if they're just gonna be married in the movie. I don't know.
maybe.
We should. All right. Anything else?
Well, the famous. I hope it. Hopefully, you can find it
Yeah.
because it's the worst thing, but I love it every time. Is the
Uh,
I love it so much. It's so terrible, but it's so perfect.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I could imagine anybody else in that role with that little face going like. I love it so much. Trying to think. I like the Disneyland ride feel when they got into the thing. They
Oh
locked the
yeah.
things in, and the thing starts playing, and yeah,
Yeah.
I liked all that stuff.
Yeah. I do too. I love the intro. The whole like
Yeah, Mr.
car
DNA.
spins around and they see like the actual scientists and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
that's cool.
I love um I love Malcolm. Um
Yeah, I know. I I I forgot that he like almost has like nothing to do in this movie.
yeah.
It's so funny because it's like he has a lot of lines in the beginning, then he gets hurt and he has a couple more lines, and then that's it. He just like lays on that table,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
every so often is like, "That's stupid," or whatever. He'll just like make a one-liner.
Yeah.
But I like him a lot too. I like Alan too. I don't. Those two guys, I don't know. There's just something of the way that they act in that movie. They're really. I enjoy their characters.
I think everybody in the movie is likable, you know?
Oh yeah, it's probably one of the few times where you watch a movie and all the heroes are likable people and all of the like villainous people,
Mhm.
you're like, oh, these are I hate that. I don't like this guy.
Yeah. 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 Nedry is slimy, the lawyer is slimy.
Yeah.
They all meet a pretty good demise, you know.
The lawyer is like, I don't know. He's not like completely bad. He's just kind of
Oh,
more like,
he's the stereotypical 1990s lawyer, right?
yeah, yeah. He's dollar bills.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's literally what he says. He's supposed to be there for park safety, and he says, we're gonna make a fortune.
Think of the merchandise.
Hammond's like, no, it's gonna be priced so everyone can come. That's the kind of whole point of it.
Yeah. He's like, well, they'll have coupon day.
Well, coupon. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you well, how did you interpret okay, so the movie's played out, they're in the helicopter, they're flying away, and they look at the I think it's like a pelican, some sort
Mhm.
of bird. How did you interpret like what do you think Steven Spielberg was trying to say with that? It's a really weird cut to just a bird flying over the ocean, and I was like, what is he trying to tell you?
Um, my interpretation of it is just he's just showing that like those are the modern day dinosaurs, and
Hmm.
it's implying that they still like birds of a feather flock together, right? Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing is life finds a way. No matter what,
Yeah.
life will find a way, and everything kind of flocks together. They all kind of stay with their own kind.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I
That
didn't think about it that
that's
way.
kind of my interpretation of it. And I think the Lost World, or no, it's Jurassic Park 3, where it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They're in the helicopter at the end, but it's the pterosaurs.
Yeah, now
That's
it's yeah.
flying. So I thought
Yeah.
it's a callback.
Yeah,
Every
it's
movie
a
ends with
complete evening.
pterodactyls flying in the sky.
Yeah, the one when I saw it, the thing I thought, but I like yours, but the one I was thinking was it was just that like it was nice to see like a regular day animal, right? Like a bird you would typically just ignore because who cares?
Yeah,
It was now like comforting to see.
yeah, like we're out of there.
Yeah, but no, I mean honestly, right? You're probably, you know, like that bird was once like a terrifying reptile monster, essentially. Yeah.
The other thing I love too is Hammond. Every time someone's like, "Oh, this is amazing," Hammond says, "We spared no expense. We spared no expense."
No expense.
Even to the point where like Ellie's being like real with him and saying like, I was enamored with this place too, but it's too powerful. It's too much.
Right. It's too
Too
much.
much.
Yeah.
And he like understands finally that like it's dangerous. You can't
Yeah.
control it. And then she tries the ice cream and she's like, it's really good. And he goes, spare no expense. Like really depressed, you know. He's
Yeah.
he's the whole movie. He's been every time anything's happening. He's like, oh yeah, we spared no expense. And then he's like, we spared no expense.
He's so sad. I
So
know.
sad about it.
It is a really weird scene because doesn't the ice cream table scene happen after she finds Samuel's arm? No,
It's right
no, it's
before.
after they escape
It's
the
right.
T Rex.
It's when they get back from the T Rex. Yeah.
Yeah, and they don't know where Alan and the kids are. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah, so I was because when she was sitting there talking, and I was like, wouldn't you be a little more like we got to do something and not just like sit and watch this man eat ice cream? Like, but it was
There,
like you said, it played out really well. The scene ends up playing out really, really well.
there's a scene in the movie too where when the power comes back on and Alan calls the Welcome Center and Hammond picks the phone up and he realizes it's Alan. The first question he says uh, is are you safe? Are the kids safe? And I think something like that happens in the book too, and that's what really like shows that he has no like moral because he's going on and on about the park or something that he has to do something. They have to try to make it safe. And Alan's like, your grandkids are fine, by the way.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. So again, I don't know. The character changes, I think, are for the best for the movie. Like it plays out better for the movie.
Yeah.
Um, the books are always longer, so you can get way more character depth
Yeah. True.
characters. But
It
no,
is really funny to think that the lawyer was like a heroic character
yeah,
because
yeah.
he's such a throwaway character in this movie.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple other throwaway characters in the movie that are like really main characters.
Yeah.
The guy that's like the doctor that was working on the Triceratops
Yeah.
was like a main guy, and the other guy in the very beginning that's driving the Jeep with everybody. He's like a main
Right.
character too. And they're just kind of throwaway characters in the movie, Yeah.
Yeah. The guy with the glasses and yeah. Even even the guy even the guy with the in the beginning on the mine, right? He says, "You're not going to get Alan Grant to go." He goes,
Yeah.
"Because I'm just like Alan Grant, essentially." Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, this is a movie I could watch Jurassic Park anytime.
Oh yeah. Yep. So
I'm
I guess like
excited.
if good.
I'm excited to go forward because I've seen them all so many times,
Right. Right.
but I've always just kind of watched them. I've never
Yeah.
like
Exactly.
sat
Same.
down and like specifically critique them and go through like what I like and don't like about the movie.
Yeah. Well, like what works, what doesn't work. Yeah. So my thought is, it's not really a spoiler. It's in the trailer that in Dominion, the three main casts, the three main heroes are back.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think is going to like? What do you think their involvement's going to be?
Money.
Well, yeah, you mean like the
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, as far as the storyline, Malcolm makes sense, because he was in Fallen Kingdom or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, he's professor, he's a doctor. He's talking about like, yeah, like we're gonna have to figure out a way to like live side by side because we did this, we brought these things back. So he's still like a chaos guy.
Yeah.
So him coming back makes sense, But as far as Grant and Sattler, I don't know. I don't know. That's why
Yeah.
I think they're probably married. I don't know. Maybe the dinosaurs are evolving or their DNA is changing and they're mutating to the point where paleontologists like might know their patterns more based on their newer behavior. I don't know. Maybe they devolve to the point where they're actually more, regular dinosaurs that they've been studying, the fossils they've been studying. I don't know. I really don't know.
I was thinking that perhaps they were just like, because now like the dinosaurs are running loose on wherever San Francisco or wherever the movie ended
for the second time.
and perhaps they're just like they're brought in or they're roped in because it's like you people know how to deal with these things or you've dealt with this type of stuff before. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, Malcolm. So Malcolm's dealt with it twice. Grant has dealt with it twice.
Right. And Ellie's only dealt with it once.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I hope we get some gymnastics.
Ooh.
And some
some cell phones in the belly.
Yeah. No, I don't have the phone. I gave that to right before he was oh boy. Oh dear.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to it. I rewatched them all before Fallen Kingdom came out. So that was the last time I've seen them all. But again, I didn't watch them to like specifically match them all up. So yeah.
I've been trying to read the second book too, but I just haven't gotten through it.
Yeah. Very cool.
I haven't gotten past like the first 3 chapters. I haven't even gotten to the island yet.
Oh wow.
Isla Sorna.
Isla Sorna.
Isla Sorna. I do love in the newer movies though how they have been going back to like the original like park.
Yeah, it is nice.
Like in Jurassic World where they find like the visitor center and like Jeep and stuff. Like I love that stuff.
That was good.
But I'm a sucker for anything that's apocalyptic, run down.
Sure.
So to have this park that's based on like recreating nature and then have it just run wild and now the park is just overgrown with nature.
Yeah.
It's just like
true.
I love it.
Yeah, true.
So yeah. So that was Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
I know.
I can go watch it again right now.
No.
Yep. All right. So we'll be back in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Talking about the Lost World.
Nobody move. Mommy is very angry.
I remember liking Lost World.
Honestly, a lot of it is pretty good. There's only a couple scenes in it that don't do well, but yeah, whatever.
It was a great movie to sell merch because
Yes.
I had like the little I forget the name of the dinosaur, but it, like you push its back and its head like pushes out, like the skull, like the head butter one.
Oh yes.
Deeps,
Yes.
like the guns and the nets and stuff. I had all that stuff. Loved it.
Loved it.
The T-Rex stuff in the second movie is really good, though. I do remember that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
so
yeah.
Spielberg directed 2.
Yeah.
He did number 1, and I guess he had been wanting to do Schindler's List like forever, and Universal said like you do Jurassic Park first, and then you can do Schindler's. So he put out Jurassic Park in 1993, and he put out Schindler's List in 97.
Oh, okay.
No, it was 93. It was the end of 93.
Oh.
Same year, but it was like the end. I had it. I lost it. It was like he put Jurassic Park out in the beginning of the year and Schindler's List at the end of the year. And then he took a break and he didn't come back.
Yeah.
He didn't come back until he did Jurassic Park 2 in 97.
Gotcha.
And he never works really on sequels. So for him, I think he came back for 2 because he had so much fun doing the first one.
Oh yeah.
More.
I think other than like the Indiana Jones movies, I don't think he's done sequels really.
He did the first Jaws.
Yeah, I don't think he did any of the other ones.
2 or 3 or 4.
Right.
Jaws Revenge Harder, Jaws 3D.
Son of Jaws or whatever. Yeah.
Jaws.
There's so many of them. There's so many of them.
It's just the guy from Bond. So,
I know.
Yeah. So I hope you got, if you guys watched Bond and you liked how we went through Bond, hopefully you like Jurassic Park because that's how.
Yeah. They're all pretty self-contained stories, so you don't gotta I don't know. They're pretty easy to follow.
The only difference between this and the Bond series is we have like a specific date that we're trying to get to. And then we're going to talk about a movie that came out that weekend,
True.
So that'll be cool.
It's going to be good, actually. It'll be fun to have a fresh take on it. And especially with these characters coming back, it'll be good to have, like fresh eyes on it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm excited. What else? We got a couple other things in the works too. So.
Yeah, we got another preparing to do the prequels of the Star Wars trilogy before Obi-Wan comes out.
All of Clone Wars.
I know.
No,
that's gonna be the only thing that's gonna stink is like watching that and then cutting to the first 2 are fine, and then you'll between 2 and 3 just being like, well, this is weird, this happens weird, and this doesn't make any sense in the movie. Oh, but they explain it in the series, so
they really delve into it in the first 6 seasons of Clone Wars. But there's a part in Clone Wars where it's it still would be before Obi-Wan series, but there's parts of like Rebels that's after the Obi-Wan series.
Oh yeah.
But in my personal opinion, I'm looking forward to watching the prequels because I haven't seen them since they came out. And if the one thing that J.J. Abrams did for me is he made the prequels better, so I'm looking forward to watching the prequels. But in my humble opinion, I would much rather watch all of Clone Wars leading up to Obi-Wan. I probably will in my spare time anyway, but not that I have a lot of spare time. But maybe just go to YouTube and type in like specific Clone Wars stuff that you need to know before Obi-Wan. I'm sure people have made videos and it'll be like very like plot points. And it'll be perfect. And we're not going to do it, but somebody else has probably already done it.
Yeah.
So yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. That'll be fun too. And you and I have a few weeks from now, probably plan on a month maybe, but we have an actual prop video coming out too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We've been doing things in the shadows.
That's right. Yeah. So we followed through on the things we said in the Uncharted video where we said, hey, you'll see more. We did. It happened.
We did. And this video would have already been out last week, but that was there was some technical issues.
Unfortunately. But that's okay. We still got it within a good time frame. Yeah.
So today's Saturday. It'll be out. It'll be out this coming week for sure. I'll have it out this week.
Yeah. Okay.
start steamrolling. So we got a lot of stuff coming out. So stay tuned to the Nerd Holes if you like Jurassic Park and Star Wars.
Yeah. And I think if you wanted to mention, you said you had a thing, like a coffee thing, you said.
Oh, I do. Yeah. I have like a what do they call it? A buy me a coffee thing. So if you guys like what we do and you want to support us and not give a ton of money, there's buy me a coffee is a cool little website where you can send as little as like $2 for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, especially like, I know it's just us two of us sitting here and talking, but you saw the introductory thing, how Caleb worked on that.
Yeah.
So it's like, to help him kind of, not essentially waste his time doing that. It's nice to kind of support him and help him to do more things like that.
I drink a lot of coffee when I'm working on props in the basement.
Perfect.
But when I'm editing videos and intros, I'm drinking even more coffee because it's usually late at night.
And he never goes to sleep.
It refills.
Yeah.
Constant.
I want the end joke is it cuts to you when you have the oxygen mask with the tubes and you're in the back of the tank like Luke, but it's coffee. It's not like that's how you go to sleep at night. You just go like put that on and you just get in the tank. They lower you into the tank.
I think that's how I wake up some morning too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are we going to still use that slogan that we started 10 years ago?
We can. We can.
I don't even remember.
I think we'll use the slogan that you just got Jurassic with us.
Yes. Thanks for getting Jurassic.
That's right. You just got Jurassic.
You just got Jurassic. All right. We'll see you guys for the next one.
Next one.